Congressman, thank you. And our string of great speakers does continue right now. The next speaker today is a man, a myth, and machine of clear constitutional thought. Mike Church is an author, filmmaker, and singer-songwriter who uses facts to promote the singular notion that in order to save our future, we must look back to the principles our beloved nation was founded upon. He pulls no punches while separating fact from fiction with in-depth conservative analysis. The Mike Church Show is the first ever produced talk show on Sirius Satellite Radio, and no other broadcast personality has hosted more legislators and activists within the liberty movement. Known as the KingDude and father of the Red, White, and Dude Nation, the man liberals fear, we're proud to bring you Mike Church.
Thanks for that wonderful greeting. I would normally invite everybody to come in and get a little closer so we can be like family, but if you're cool where you're at, it's okay. You know, when I go to a town and I know I'm going to be speaking with or near a congressman, I always like to go into a store or something and see if I can pass myself off as the congressman. So I went to a store and I introduced myself to the cashier lady. I said, I'm Louis Gohmert. She said, you think I'm stupid, boy? I said, no, ma'am, I'm Congressman Gohmert. She said, I know Congressman Gohmert, and he's taller than you and's got a lot more hair. Louis didn't even get it. I have a group that we founded that we call the Beer Party. It's the Tea Party on steroids. Our motto is, when weak tea fails, beer prevails. Now, I know this is a dry county, officers. Just water. But the fact that you guys are here 3 years to the day, right? After the first Rick Santelli-inspired Tea Party. Does everybody remember that moment, February of 2009? On CNBC News, when the news was released about, well, they're going to get a bailout, aren't they, right? About you want to pay your neighbor's mortgage, Rick Santelli said from the floor of the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. How many of you want to pay your neighbor's mortgage? I don't want to pay my neighbor's mortgage. I got my own flipping mortgage to worry about. That started the Tea Party. Maybe we ought to have a tea party and throw some tea in the Chicago River. 2 months later, you people showed up. Yeah! You wonderful people. Not only did you show up, you really made Keith Olbermann very mad. You made Rick Madcow, Rachel Maddow, very angry. She's still mad. And, okay. You made Katie Couric very mad. You made a woman on CNN lose her job. Her name was Susan Rosgen. I don't know if you remember this. This is how under the nails of skin. You got under their nails and skin. They hate you. You people are full with love, though. Where's all the hate? I come to these events and I'm always amazed that you got your signs, you got your vendors, you have your singers, you have the children, you got the bikers, you got the truckers. We have the reverend in the back holding the Bible up and telling you to read it. You got everything, except hate. I didn't hear anybody hating on anybody up in here, did you? I never hear anybody. So what is this hate that they always talk about with us? That somehow that we're wrong because we care. I thought we were all supposed to care. Isn't that what the good citizens of Libtardia tell us that we're supposed to do, right? We can't. We care. You guys don't care. Actually, we do. We just kind of like to keep our money and give it to the people we want to give it to, not the people you want to give it to. Just a little different. Okay, now that I'm on a roll and I'm good, you may notice I don't have any notes. My motto is, if Patrick Henry could speak to the Virginia Ratifying Convention for 8 hours without a scrap of paper in his hand, I can do 40 minutes. So, work with me here. We're going to go over 4 things here. I think there are 4 things that you can do to bring a happy resolution to this crisis? We are in a crisis. Does everyone agree, by show of hands, we're in a crisis? Do you think this is a greater crisis than the crisis of the Stamp Act, Tea Act, Sugar Act, Embargo Act, 1773, 1768, all those acts that led to the American Revolution? I'd like to explain something to you that a lot history teachers don't teach anymore. When you teach about a revolution, history teachers teach revolution. Ooh, revolution, bad. It's either a Beatles song or it's bad. You don't want to do a revolution. Oh, that's evil. That's Che Guevara. That's Fidel Castro. Ooh, killing people. The founding fathers that Congressman Gomer so brilliantly talked about, they thought revolution was a half a turn backwards. I have a motto. I say we need to repeal the 20th century. Is that something you can support? I love that. So, our revolution, and it is a revolution, don't be shy of telling people this, just explain to them what it is. It is turning the wheel one half a turn back. Now, you may ask, Mike, what were the founders turning the wheel back to? They didn't have a government. Come on, get with it. Actually, they did. They had the great English Constitution of 1688. It was the first written constitution in the New World. It was the cause that inspired the great movement of liberty on the European continent that ultimately culminated around 1800 when the French started cutting people's heads off. When it was over. But the English Constitution is what they wanted. In all their speeches, they talked about their great Constitution. And when the judge earlier read from Patrick Henry's "Give Me Liberty or Give Me Death," what happened before that is he kept referring back to our ancient and constitutional rights. Did you know that the founders had constitutional rights before 1789 when the Constitution was ratified? Most folks don't know that. So what they asked for was to turn the wheel one half turn back to 1688. They basically wanted to repeal the 17th century. Isn't that what you're asking for here when you come to these Tea Party rallies? You want that little document and those 18 enumerated powers, and that's all you want that monster on Mordor on the Potomac River to do. Am I right? You might not even want 18 powers anymore, seeing as how they've abused them. I think we ought to limit them down to just 2. You can declare a war if we tell you you can, Mr. Obama, and you can coin legal tender money. You may not counterfeit money anymore, Mr. Ben Bernanke. Let's talk about money for a minute. Everybody likes money, right? We don't have any money. We have paper. It's worthless. You may as well be running around with Confederate dollars in your pocket. You may as well be running around with dollars that were minted by Sam Houston in 1850 in your pocket. Money is a medium of exchange, right? But if you're just exchanging paper, are you really paying for anything? Here's an exercise for you. We're going to have a party, and I challenge the Tea Party here, and I challenge every Tea Party in America to do this. In May, join with us. First week in May, we're going to have a 25-cent, all-you-can-eat spaghetti and salad dinner. And we're going to make money on the deal. Silence. This guy's crazy. What's he talking about? How are we going to make money selling all-you-can-eat? I mean, I see some big eaters around here, okay? How are you going to make money selling all-you-can-eat spaghetti dinners and all-you-can-eat salad? Oh, we're going to throw some Chianti wine in, too, if you want, or grape juice, whatever you want. You get all of it for 25 cents. How are you going to do that? Very simply. Your 25-cent piece must be a silver quarter. If your 25-cent piece is a silver quarter, it is worth today $11 in real, hard, gold, cash money. So you can feed a lot of people for $11, can't you? But you're only feeding them for a quarter. That is what this government, this illegitimate, unconstitutional regime has done to all those little pieces of paper in your pocket. Are we going to let that stand? But it's not enough to just, as the gentle judge said earlier, It's not enough to just pound podiums and scream righteous and attend an event once a year. Sometimes you actually have to do something about it. And Louis Gohmert and I did have a conversation. He wasn't making it up. And I did quote Spider-Man to him: with great responsibility, great opportunity comes great responsibility. And then he turned it into, we have a great opportunity, and he's right. Here's the opportunity we have. We have a chance here to reform, alter, or abolish our government. There's four things that you can do. Let's go over them in order. And I didn't even know that I was going to talk about one of them. But seeing as how there's so many of these beautiful brown, if at first you don't secede, try again, t-shirts in the crowd, the S word is one of them. So my question to Texans is not if you should secede, it's why shouldn't you? Why shouldn't you secede? What do you get from them that you have to have? You got pretty ladies. You got oil. You got cows we can eat. You have access to the Gulf of Mexico and fish, right? You have natural gas. You have minerals. You have waterways. What else do you need for? What do you need? You have gold and silver strikes. What do you need from any other state that Texas cannot provide you? Now, some may say, Mike, that's seditious, sir. You're a traitor and a treasoner. Not a traitor. I am repeating what Mr. Jefferson said on that shirt right there in his inaugural address in March of 1801. He said, "Be there any nation that wishes to leave this compact and to establish a government of their own, let them know that they will always be our brothers and our sisters, and we will always share a common heritage." So this idea here that there's something wrong with states and good people actually considering altering their forms of government when they turn their 25-cent pieces into nothing, when they turn their dollar bills into nothing, I think you have to be whacked in the head to not be talking about it.